An interesting article also appeared this week in the Wall Street Journal. And the article said what everyone got wrong about jobs and the immigration crackdown. The Wall Street Journal analysis found that stricter U.S. immigration policies have not produced the expected labor shortages or wage gains for native-born workers. More than a year into the crackdown, wage growth has slowed, particularly in industries relying on immigrant labor, and unemployment among U.S.-born workers has edged slightly higher. You would think it would be the opposite. Data shows immigrant-heavy sectors experience weaker wage increases than the overall economy, contradicting claims that restricting immigration would boost pay. Economists point to other factors such as high interest rates, tariffs, AI-driven uncertainty, and an aging population as more influential drivers of labor trends. Some localized shortages exist, but overall, the labor market has adjusted without much major disruption. The findings challenge long-standing assumptions that reducing immigration would significantly tighten the labor supply and raise wages. So here's what we're finding so far. This immigration crackdown on undocumented workers is having an impact on undocumented workers. But to me, I read this as saying that most businesses, particularly small businesses, are staying resilient in their hiring and their employment because most were not hiring undocumented or illegal workers to work in their business. So even though ICE and the government is going after undocumented or illegal immigrants, most businesses appears have remained above that, and the labor market overall has not changed because these workers were not finding work to begin with. So that's very interesting to hear. The other thing that's interesting is you would think that it would have put more contraction on the labor supply, and it really hasn't. In fact, as evidenced by this Wall Street Journal analysis, pay rates have slowed. Wage growth has slowed. It's not as if there's less labor, and so we're paying our workers more to come and work for us. And the final interesting point is that people talk about immigration having such a big, impact on the labor market, but really there are other bigger things that are impacting the labor market. AI uncertainty certainly is one of them, an aging population, demographic shifts, overall costs that we're trying to keep low in other areas to keep up with tariffs and inflation. So immigration might be a part of impacting labor rates and labor participation and the amount of workers in the, in the country. But I think compared to some of those other factors, it has much, much less of an impact.